Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is June the 8th. And we have two WNBA games on the board. We'll go through those. We'll also talk about the NBA Finals game number 2. And I'll tell you guys how I want to bet that game. I haven't bet it yet. And as always, we'll jump into a quick recap of what we saw yesterday and how betting went for us yesterday. And for me, yesterday I signaled the live under between Golden State and the Aces yesterday at halftime. Aces were getting smoked in the game. I thought that the Aces would show some pride on the defensive end, and I knew the Valkyries' offense wasn't that great, but the Aces' defense made the Valkyries' offense look really, really good. 95 points is what they ended up scoring. The game ended up going over the total, I think, by a last-second three-pointer. With less than about 30 seconds left. So ended up on another loser. I did also signal the Valkyries plus the 7.5, plus 7 in the first half. I didn't single it, but I talked about it on the show yesterday. Told you guys I was going to play soccer afterwards after I did the show with my son, and ended up not even making a play because I got there a little bit too late. The game had already started by the time I checked it. Time just kind of got away from me. The other two things that we talked about yesterday would have been losers as well. So I'm not seeing the board well in the W right now. It's a lot of variance, a lot of volatility. The favorites aren't covering. Too many points being laid, or they are covering when you don't expect them. Well, at least when I'm not expecting them to. So I got to do a little bit better. Right now, I'm not doing well on the season. So it's a lot of season left. I absolutely hate losing. So a lot of the times I'll just kind of sit on the sideline. I was furious about losing this bet, so I didn't even bet the other two games. And if I did, I don't think I would have won any money yesterday anyway. I wouldn't have been profitable yesterday. So I got to do a little bit better. Hopefully you guys are making money in the WNBA because I definitely am not. Let's go through the comments real quick. Laquan says, morning, Chris. We got an early game today. Is earlier start times correlated with unders in the W like the NBA? I would say yes, Laquan. I would also say we have to see the situational spots for those games specifically. What teams playing, where are they coming from, that type of thing. Connecticut, Washington, no. We'll talk about it. That is an earlier start time game for sure. Good morning, Algina. She said she went 1-3 in the WNBA last night. She said it was awful, need to bounce back. WNBA is getting hard to bet on, and that's a fact. It's hard. It's difficult right now, man. What's up, Big Marv? What up, Matt? Mel says, good morning, my guy. Let's start the week off solid. I need to, Mel. It's not been a good week for me, man. Not in any ways to make money. It's not been a good week for me. What up, Can't Stop? He says on 11-1 run this week, cooking the WNBA, 16-7 so far on the season. You're doing a little bit better, well, a lot better than me, Can't Stop. I love to see it, man. Love to see that. Good morning, Peasy. What up? Wild Drink says, stop taking unders, Chris. Well, if you take overs, don't mean the team gonna score a bunch of points. Wild Drinks. That's what I'll say. I want to say, let's see, the Sky game definitely went under yesterday. I mean, they scored 52 points, so I can't stop taking unders just because I'm on a little cold streak right now. What up, Manny? What up, Brian? Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Now, that's a fact. I do agree with that, Wild Drinks. You definitely got a lot of bet the totals. And I thought I was on the right side yesterday. A meaningless three-pointer has killed me. And then some meaningless free throws killed me the other day between the Mystics and the Liberty, too. I lost that one by a point. So, it is what it is. Let's talk about the games today, though. Let's get into the games for today. So, yesterday, jaXon liked let's see, I still got it pulled up. jaXon liked I had it pulled up. I thought I was gonna remember it. Ezzy Magma Boy under her 17.5 points plus rebounds was a winner yesterday. Ariel Atkins over her 1.5 threes was a loser. I don't even think anybody for Chicago and they starting line. I don't even think anybody in their starting lineup got to double-digit points yesterday. They scored 52 points. It's absolutely tragic. Their whole starting lineup finished with 8 points or less. Nobody on their team got to double digits. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. They shot 32% as a team and 3 for 20 from the three-point line. Indiana Fever defense looked like they were the greatest thing since sliced bread last night. And the Chicago was at home in a double revenge spot. So that is a spot where you could better under. You could better under for sure. Ariel Atkins was a minus 148 to go over a three-point prop. Anyway, today, similar thought process, right? 1 over, 1 under. What are the two best WNBA player props today? Courtney Williams, over her points, rebounds, and assists at 24.5. jaXon likes. Says it's minus 114 over on FanDuel. She's been in excellent form, hitting the over in this line 75% of the games this season. Over her last 10, she's averaged 23.8 points, rebounds, and assists combined. Against the Wings this season, she's been dominant, averaging 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists with a 100% hit rate. Additionally, her performance on the road has been stellar with an average of 30.25 combined points, rebounds, and assists. Given her consistency and strong matchup history, this over is a strong play. I actually like that. 24.5 for Courtney Williams, points, rebounds, and assists. The under recommendation is Brittany Sykes, under her 4.5 rebounds, minus 112 on FanDuel. Says she struggled to hit this line consistently with a 45% hit rate over her last 20 games and an average of just 4.15 rebounds per game. Against the Connecticut Sun, she failed to hit the line in the earlier matchup this season, recording just 2 rebounds. Her season-long performance against the Sun also shows a 0% hit rate, averaging just 1.5 rebounds per game. With the Sun's strong interior presence, the under is a solid pick. So take Brittany Sykes under her 4.5 boards and take Courtney Williams over her points, rebounds, and assists. I kind of like the Courtney Williams look a lot. That's what jaXon likes for today, man. If you guys want to sign up and use jaXon for your own handicapping, use code ChrisBeCappinn 2 P's 2 N's. Get you 50% off for whatever tier it is that you sign up for. And let's jump into NBA for today first and foremost. We got the Pacers and the Thunder. Just want to double check the line because I did make these graphics yesterday. Just make sure we haven't seen too much movement. I feel like the total was going up the last time I looked, but it may have come back down. Let's see. 228.5 and 11 is the consensus right now. So it's so much that I want to say about this game, man. It's so much I want to say about this game. I guess we could start with, let's see. Yeah, let's start with this. Let's start with what we saw in game 1, right? See if there is a path for this Oklahoma City Thunder team to get back on track. Game 1 saw the Pacers really, really struggle to protect the basketball. I mean, they finished with 25 turnovers and still won the game. So I highlighted the things that stuck out to me. The 3-point shooting, and if we go back to game 1, the preview, I said that if the Pacers were going to be able to shoot the basketball from the 3-point line, they were absolutely going to have a chance to win the game. The thing with the Pacers is they're not a great 3-point shooting team, or at least they hadn't been throughout the regular season. The Pacers were a team that kind of put their head down and got to the rim. They like to play inside out. They like to shoot a lot of mid-range shots, like to attack the rim, score in the paint. And ever since I guess you could say since the playoffs started, or at least when I started to notice that they were, making a lot of threes, was against the Knicks in the last round. They shot the 3-point ball really, really well against the Knicks. And that was the reason why they won the game. The Knicks turned the ball over a little more than, a lot of people anticipated, myself included. And the Pacers, advanced to win the series because of their 3-point shooting. I'll say this: if the Pacers are going to shoot 46% from the 3-point line, and I just want to look at this real quick. Let me just go back because I think the 3-point shooting is everything. It was the weakness of the Oklahoma City Thunder's defense. It is the weakness of the Oklahoma City Thunder's defense. And that was the reason, if you guys remember back to when game number 1, Western Conference Finals, I said I liked the Timberwolves in that spot because I thought the Timberwolves was going to be able to shoot the 3-point shot. And they weren't able to in game 1 or 2. In game 3, I think they shot 50%, scored 143 points, and then, ended up not winning another game. So the Pacers in the playoffs, I just want to check real quick. So round equals 3. Against the Knicks, they shot 39% from the 3-point line. 39%. They managed a little over 12 threes per game. Round 2, they played against the Cavs. They shot 42% from the 3-point line. Round 1, they played the Bucks. They shot 39% from the 3-point line. So, I mean, you would expect them not to shoot at the ball as well. But the problem is when I went back and watched the game, I saw the Pacers, miss a lot of wide open shots. Like they had an opportunity to make some of the shots that they weren't falling early. I was thinking to myself, like, these shots, if they're going to be available, they're probably going to go in and throughout the rest of the series. Then of course, second they get dominated in the first quarter. Well, the end of the first quarter, and then they losing. They don't cover the first half. They get smoked in the first half, and then the adjustments get made. Right, the Oklahoma City Thunder ended up playing a lot smaller, getting dominated on the boards. They end up playing a lot smaller, and credit to Rick Carlisle for being able to make such key adjustments throughout the game to keep his team in it. The Pacers are a team that's just going to keep scrapping and fighting. I don't think that they're ever going to. I mean, they've proven that they're never going to like really lay down and not fight and compete in games, no matter how much they get down by. So it seems really, really difficult to want to lay 11 points with the Thunder. I don't think I could quite get there. What I do want to share though is a couple trends here. So we look at home favorites in game twos of the NBA Finals. If they're coming off a loss, 3-0 straight up, 2-0-1 against the number, 2-1 to the under, are those teams. That says to take the Thunder in this spot. Indy, when I was looking into the numbers, and I shared these at the beginning of the game before game 1 too. Indy has won every first round, game 1 of any round that they've played in so far this postseason. They were perfect 3-0 straight up and against the number. In game 2s, they're also a perfect 3-0 straight up and against the number as well. This postseason, OKC 3-0 straight up and against the number as well in game 2s this postseason. So something's gonna have to give. If you look at OKC, when they are coming off a loss, I put it right here. This is the 4th bullet point. They are +9 in first quarter point differential following a loss in the postseason, because they did lose a couple games, and that's just a 4-game sample. I think they're 4-0. They haven't lost back-to-back games. Indy is a -3 in the first quarter in game 2s this postseason. Most of those games they won as a dog, and then they typically don't start the game off as well in the following game. At least that's the pattern that we've seen so far with the Pacers. And then last but not least, the overall trend, teams coming off a finals loss as a favorite, they're 10-0 to the under in their last 10 games of the NBA Finals. So a lot of trends kind of point towards the under. I don't really want to be there on the under. I don't. I understand that it's postseason. I think the way the pace that we expect to see with these two teams, I feel like it can go over. I kind of feel like the Pacers are a team that you can kind of throw all the data out. Like, it doesn't matter. The data doesn't quantify the Pacers, in my opinion. So it's hard for me to want to lay 11 points with the Thunder. I think if there's a play in the game that I absolutely love, I think I would go back to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I would probably just play OKC in the first half. That's the thing that kind of jumps out to me the most. First quarter was -4.5. That's a steep number. First half is -7.5. They had a double-digit lead at the end of the first half. I do think that there are going to be adjustments that are going to be made, more so, in my opinion, for OKC rather than Indiana. And I do think the Thunder can have a nice lead at halftime. Now, after halftime, who knows, man? Pacers might end up winning game 2 as well. Who knows? But my thought process is I want to be on OKC. There's a 7.5 out there. Looks like the line is consensus at 8, though, is my thought process. That's how I kind of see the game going. Thunder come out, sense of urgency, some desperation, knowing that they can't go down 2-0, although the Pacers have, went up 2-0 in a lot of these series. So that's my thought process. I think there was one more thing that I wanted to share. So kind of looking at that trend, this was what I talked about as far as like Pacers OKC coming off a loss as a favorite this season in the postseason. You can see I highlighted the green right there. The first quarter they're winning 30-21. The second quarter they're winning 33-27. That's 9 + 6, 15-point margin in the first half. I think OKC first half is probably the better of the plays, in my opinion here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. I know I talk for a lot. Can't stop. We'll go back. We'll get to the WNBA in just a second. Manny says Eric Atkins is banned. What up, Meech? I like it. A lot of variance for sure, Meech. Mosey says Pacers. What's up, Chad? I love it. Says smash that like button tonight. We feast. Appreciate you. I love it. Yeah, hit the like button if you guys can. Mark says, good morning, Chris and crew. Some of these teams are schizophrenic. They are all over the place, man. They all over the place. I'm gonna chill in the WNBA for a while until we can kind of determine, what's what. Probably just play some live plays. If I'm being honest, I don't have money to waste, man. If you guys have been, around the show for a while, like when I make bets, I try to, narrow them down to the ones that I love. And WNBA has been all over the place. We'll talk about the games though. Big Finesse says, damn, I'm late. I'm glad you're back in the morning. So I won't be doing morning shows throughout the week. On the weekends, I always do morning shows. This will be both shows together today, Brian. We'll go WNBA in just a second. Chad says every team is figuring things out. With the expansion, every team lost a piece, in my opinion. When these better teams are getting a hit, they're trying things out to nail down the rotation and whatnot. Yeah, I do kind of agree with that, especially the beginning part. PG says first half under 112.5 for him. Pacers taking the brooms out. Daryl says they're gonna sweep OKC. You can get, if you believe it, you could put some money on that and make a lot of money. Daryl, Pacers in the sweep would be crazy. Manny says I think Aaron Nesmith points, rebounds, and assists should be free. I like it a lot. Nesmith is the guy that's going to be defending. Nesmith is also the guy that's going to get a lot of those wide open 3-pointers. I like Aaron Nesmith in game one. He did go up and over his number. I like that look a lot. If I'm betting on the player today, it's probably going to be Aaron Nesmith. His minutes is pretty much guaranteed. And he's going to get a lot of wide open shots too. I kind of feel like the books, I wouldn't say that they, don't know where to set his lines at, but he definitely has a lot of upside to where his props are. What's up, Nayeli? She says she like Pacers plus 11. Chad says he took OKC minus 10.5. He says OKC rolls. They put them so deep that they can't climb out. I mean, that's what you would think, though, Chad. That is what you would think. I think if I had to bet the side, as difficult as it is for me to want to lay 11 with the Thunder, I think I would be on OKC too, man. I really do think I would. I understand the Pacers are, the new shiny toy. I get it. And 11 is a lot to lay, but I don't think the Thunder mess around tonight. You go about 15, you got to try to figure out how you can go about 30. Me says he likes highly under his 2.5 threes. I want to say real quick, let's just go over. Y'all talking about props. Let's just go over and look at some of these props. Let's go to Outlier really quickly. And I want to go backwards. I want to go look at Aaron Nesmith, right? We just talked about Nesmith. His points, rebounds, and assists is listed at 17.5, right? We had 23 in game one, 10 points and 12 rebounds. Didn't even have an assist in this game at all, but more importantly, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the minutes, right? 31 minutes, and I'm expecting them to be out there to kind of slow down SGA. Slow down Jalen Williams. Like he's gonna be out there and be needed, in my opinion. So I like the 17.5 look for Aaron Nesmith. And I also just think that he's going to be able to get up a lot of 3-point looks as well. If we look at his threes, he shot 7, right? 3 for 7. So yeah, I like Nesmith a lot, man. I do think that he's going to continue to get those looks. If the Pacers continue to shoot the ball as well from the 3-point line, they do got a chance to win the finals. It's crazy to think that. Me says highly under his 2.5 threes. So if we go look at Tyrese real quick, I know he did go under in game number 1. He finished with 2 threes. Let's see, 3-pointers made. Yeah, he's not really been hitting threes at all. Last 2 games against the Knicks, he stayed under. This is now, what are the odds? I think the odds are juiced though, right? You can get a minus 125 right now on Bet365 right here. Looks like the best number is available on Bet365 for his under 1.5 threes for Tyrese Halliburton. Could not talk you off. If we go back and look at his attempts, not even shooting that many. It's hard to make 3, right? if you aren't even shooting more than 3, right? So yeah, I like this look for Tyrese Halliburton to stay under as well. Somebody was on Tyrese Halliburton under his threes in game 1. It makes a lot of sense. Now Tyrese can knock down a couple in a row though. We look at his head-to-head games. Let's see. He did hit 4 going back here, but yeah, none in this game here. And the first time they played this season, he didn't hit any either. This would have been game 2, and then this was the finals game. So yeah, Tyrese Halliburton under his 3-point prop makes a lot of sense as well. Aaron Nesmith, Tyrese Halliburton, I like both of those looks. Let's see if y'all got any more prop looks here. Now, at least the Pacers are the baby Celtics from last year to me. They don't play any defense. They play defense when it matters, though. I will say that. Brian says, Chris, absolutely. 3-point shot is the key. When they shoot 25%, they lose 40%. They cover and win. That's a fact. I mean, it's kind of crazy, man. I love it. Says OB over his points. OB played well. I don't think OB is going to consistently play that well, but OB played really, really well. Really hard to get a gauge on OB, in my opinion. He's so like up and down. If we look at his points prop, 3 straight games though where he's gone over a 9.5. So I guess he has been consistent. But look at these games against Cleveland and New York. The fast pace, I think, definitely does, play well for his style. He did play 25 minutes, but with Rick Carlisle having so many players that he can play off the bench, I kind of feel like OB, if he's not playing well, he could just be on the sideline, just chilling, like not seeing too much of the floor. But he's playing really, really well. He's locked in right now. So let me talk you off. 9.5, something that he's went over 3 straight games. Hope you cash it if you played it. I love this. Mark says, following general trends, OKC minus 10.5, Indy team total under 108.5. I think this will be a lower scoring game. So I considered, Mark, take it the Pacers team total under in the first quarter or in the first half. I did consider that. I did think that OKC's defense is going to come out even more locked in than they already were. Their first half team total probably should be somewhere around, 52.5. That number seems really, really low, but you can get a 52.5 under for the Pacers at minus 110. First quarter team total should probably be 26.5 is what I'm thinking. Pacers are 26.5. You can get on FanDuel. It is juice minus 142. 25.5 is minus 105 on DraftKings. That's a super low number, but OKC, I feel like I'm expecting them to play some really good defense in this game, especially to start. I mean, they're giving up 21 points in the first quarter, coming off a loss this season in the playoffs. In their 4 games that they've lost, 3 of those to the Nuggets and then 1 to the Timberwolves. Their defense has been really, really good in the following game. So like it. Brian says Thunder first quarter, first half. Their defense will be better. It was horrible last game. Couldn't even be a trifecta today. Could even be Yeah, I agree with that. Nally likes Siakam. He was looking for mismatches in the last game. I agree with that. JFX says double-digit spread with OKC this series is just crazy when Indy never gives up. I'm just going to keep riding the money train. Could not talk you off, JFX. Could not talk you off. He says the SGA makes that silly grin like he did that one series, then I'll reconsider my thoughts. What up, Helms? W show. We'll start the W in just a second, Helms. I'll go through both of the games in just a second. Hand behind his head is chilling. Yeah. What am I missing? Malik says nothing in this game. Just wanted to say Sky bogus as hell. Yeah, man. I don't know what y'all got going on with Chicago, Malik. I'm not touching that team for a while, though. I'm glad I didn't end up getting there yesterday either. Bet at your own risk says, what's good, Chris in chat? I'm fading the Thunder team total under 119.5. We are 7-3 in the last 10 games under the total, and the Pacers are also 7-3 holding teams under their points. Okay. Xander Sealy contract suspended. Why? When did that happen? Did that just happen? I didn't see that. I'll figure it out later. I don't want to hold the show up, but I didn't even see that. He hit that 3 last night that I did not need her to make, and that ended up losing my bet last night. It was her, Xander Sealy. Or you could just say that the Aces defense was terrible, man. Anyway, let's see. What else y'all saying here? JFX says, remember when the Celtics were favored to win the title that 1 year and Golden State swept them right out from under their feet? I have a funny feeling the Pacers could do that this year. I do remember that series. I had a lot of money on Boston that year. I do remember that. And I remember Draymond Green talking about that as well, JFX. He said something along the lines of we won the game because we won that series because we had more experience, but they were the better team. Like as far as talent, they had more talent than Golden State did. I do remember that. Darius says Pacers had 20 turnovers in the first half. I don't think that they would think that they will have half as many this game. Thoughts on turnovers? I agree, Darius. I do think that OKC's defense, it'll be like you'll have to see how much the refs is going to let them play for sure. But I do think OKC's defense will be good. I don't expect the Pacers to turn the ball over that many times, though. I do not expect that. I'd be right there with you. Pacers is not a team to turn the ball over that much. So yeah, that would be my thought process. CCTV says a lot of Siakam boards in Siakam's last 4 games at Paycom. He's totaled 9, 11, 16, and 7 rebounds in games he has played over 27 minutes. He's never went under the number of 7. So take Pascal Siakam over his rebound prop. Let's fact check that real quick. Pascal Siakam rebounds. Head to head. Yeah, you're right. So he did go under 1 game. Last couple times he's had at least 7.5 boards though. Or at least 8 boards. So they have to play some defense today though. They are going to have to play some defense today for sure. I do want to show y'all like one more thing I was looking at real quick before we move over to the WNBA. So a couple things I looked at, right? This is the Thunder coming off a loss. And let me just zoom in, make it a little bit easier for you guys to see it. So this is the Thunder coming off a loss, but if we add PO, this is the Thunder coming off a loss in the playoffs, right? 4-1 straight up. This was the number that I just showed you guys. This 30-21 is what they're doing in the first quarter of those games, 33-27 in the second quarter of those games, which is why I like the first half. Also, Thunder in this is the Thunder in game number 2s, right? If this loads, let's see. Oh, it did load. Okay. So Thunder 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the number in game 2s. They're winning the first quarter by a huge margin, 35-21, winning the second quarter, 36-31. And then we also got to look at the Pacers as well. Pacers in game 2s, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. These are all things that I talked about. Even in those second quarters, you can see that the first quarter, they are getting outscored 29-26. Second quarter, they're winning 29-28. Pacers, previous win as a favorite, just to kind of check and see if they're in a letdown spot. And playoffs, they're in the playoffs. Previously won as a dog. It's my fault. All right. So 5-2 after winning as a dog. So they don't let up. They typically win the next game as well. 4-3 against the spread. You can see that they are getting smoked in the first quarter though. So this is the Pacers in the playoffs this season, coming off a win as a dog. First quarter does not go so well for them. 30 points is what they're giving up. 23 and 24, right at 24 points is what they're scoring. So that's a 6-point margin there. They're winning the second quarter, bouncing back, winning the third quarter, bouncing back, and then tied in the fourth quarter, 29-29 in the 7 games that they've won as a dog. That's pretty impressive, man. That is pretty impressive. Their defense typically still plays pretty well. 5 points under their team total for the Knicks. 6 points under the team total for the Knicks, 14 points under the team total for the Cleveland Cavaliers. You can see that they're 4-3 to the under here as well. So yeah, these are some of the trends that I kind of looked at. Excuse me. Another thing to point out to what Mark was saying, the Thunder off a loss in the playoffs this season, only giving up 103 points. So that is some support. You can see 1, 2, 3 opponents went under their team total. I just kind of feel like the pace is going to be a little bit too fast in this game for me to want to take an under, though. So I can't get there on any unders. But I understand it. I do understand it. So that's just my thought process of how I'm thinking about the game. Let's go to the W. Like I said, if I bet it, I want the Thunder early. I want the Thunder first quarter or Thunder first half is the way that I want to play the game. And I'm probably going to end up playing it. I just haven't played it yet. 7.5 is the number. Let's move to W. So these lines I know do need to be updated. I put these in yesterday when I was handicapping the games. WNBA is 2 games on for today. This first one is the Connecticut Sun and the Washington Mystics. Game will be played in DC. This line is now about 7. Looks like 7.3 is the average. So we'll just put 7, closer to 7.5. The total has come down. Open 160, as you guys can see. It is now down to about 156. So we'll change this to 156. The way I kind of see this game going, I'll just jump right into it. We'll start with the injury report. Connecticut does have Lindsey Allen potentially returning for today's game. It'll be her first time playing, I think, in about 5 or 6 games. And then Olivia Nelson Odota. It says that she is on the injury report. I'm not sure if she's going to play. She's listed as questionable. She did, take a spill in that game against the Atlanta Dream a couple nights ago. So she may not be out there for the team either. And then Washington had practice yesterday. Everybody practiced. Nobody's on the injury report. So the way I kind of see the game, I think it's a little bit of a letdown spot for Connecticut. I do agree with the line moving. Now, do I want to lay 7.5 points with the Washington Mystics? I think that is terrible thing to even consider. The Connecticut Sun did just win as a double-digit dog against the Atlanta Dream. They were 2 nights ago. They were coming off the second worst loss in WNBA history, losing by 48 points to the New York Liberty last weekend. Connecticut has yet to put together 2 back-to-back good performances. So the trend is you fade them after a good game. And then you got the Washington Mystics on the other side. Second straight home game for them. Typically, a nice little bet on spot, especially when they lost their last game. They're coming off a loss, but they did cover against the Liberty. They're 3-1 against the spread at home this season. And they're coming off 3 straight losses. So they should take this game pretty serious, in my opinion. The losses have come against good teams. They lost to the Fever, and then they lost to the Liberty twice. I do think that Connecticut, at their heart, is a defensive team. I do expect them to struggle. Marina Mabry is coming off a season high, I think 34 points. I'm expecting her to get locked down by Brittany Sykes. Washington is a pretty good defensive team as well. This is the second time that these 2 teams have played. If you guys remember, about 3 weeks ago, we were on Washington minus 3.5 in Connecticut. They did end up winning that game 90-85 as a 3-point road favorite. And that game did go over the total of 159. That was on May the 18th, so a couple weeks ago. And then just to kind of show you guys exactly what I'm talking about as far as the bounce back spot or the fade spot for Connecticut, this is what I'm talking about, right? So this is Connecticut's schedule so far this season. You can see that they started the season off with the loss against the Washington Mystics down here at the bottom. And then they followed that up by getting smoked by the Aces. The Aces were coming off that loss to the Liberty on the opening night. And then they covered against the Minnesota Lynx, which I was on the wrong side of that. Almost won that game outright. So a cover, and then they get smoked by Atlanta. Then they get smoked again by Dallas. Then they cover against the Indiana Fever, right? They beat the Indiana Fever for their only win of the season at this point. Then they get smoked by the New York Liberty, and then they get a cover, right? So every single time that they've had a cover, they have not been able to cover in their next game is the trend that I found with the Connecticut Sun. If you just type this into give me the dog, this is what you come up with, right? So if they have covered their last game, they're 0-2 straight up, 0-2 against the spread, 2-0 to the under. Offense is averaging 53 points. They're giving up a total of 89 points. I think Connecticut played really hard. I do not expect them to play that hard in back-to-back games. I would only be able to look towards the Mystics. It's a super big line. Probably won't end up betting it. First quarter, first half, I think are also ways to play this game. You can get Washington right now, minus 3.5 on ESPN on ESPN Bet, on Bet MGM, and you can get it on Fanatics. Fanatics got the best line if you're not limited at -110 in the first half. I think Washington runs away with this game. I'm just not big on Connecticut. I would also probably be looking towards Connecticut team total under as well. This would be the thing that would be the only ways that I would be able to play this game. And I think, yeah, that's it. That's all I have for this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking about it. Let's see. We'll get to that game in just a second. Chad says he got Mystics -5.5. Love it. Yeah, I think I still think they can cover this number as well. I don't think this game is gonna be that close, honestly. I think Washington will blow them out, but I don't know if I want to put my money on it. Let's see what else. First half over 80 for Helms. Kiki and Lexi Hell 1 and 2 will be rookie of the year. Lexi Hell will be 1 and 2 rookie of the year. Yeah, I don't know if Lexi gonna end up being there at the end, Chad. I think she's been hooping, don't get me wrong, but when Copper comes back, when Thomas comes back, like her services won't be needed as much. She could be the beneficiary, but yeah, I think Kiki. I don't know, man. Kiki got it locked up for sure. It feels like right now, but I do like her. I think Lexi is really, really good. Sonya is absolutely a dog. She's not gonna win it just because they're her teammate, but she is absolutely a dog. Chad says Kiki's getting more attention though is the only reason I see. I say her with it being the vote always a chance the wrong person. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Dirty Rig says I'm seeing a slop fest in the Mystics and Suns game. I might move on the total up a bit in hopes of it staying under. I think I don't really know what to do with any totals in the WNBA if I'm being honest. Like the Mystics offense is not great. The Connecticut Sun offense is not great. They did go over in game 1. I do expect a letdown from Connecticut. I don't know what to do with the total, man. Let's move over to the last game, which is the Mystics and the Wings. I also got to update this line. Again, I put these in yesterday when I first saw them available. This line is now at, let's see, I think it's 11.5. Yeah, it's 11.5. And the total is 169. So the total hasn't moved a lot at all. The injury news is important in this game, right? The Minnesota Lynx have nobody on the injury report, and Paige Beckers is listed as probable. This line actually came down when Paige got when she got downgraded, when she got upgraded, because she has missed the last, I think, 3 games with the concussion, but she's actually listed as questionable with an illness in this game, or probable with an illness in this game. So she probably end up playing. Ty Harris is still out. Tierra McCowan is playing for her national team, so she is not going to be with the team for the foreseeable future to participate. Not her national team, I'm sorry. She's going to play Euro basketball. So Tierra McCowan won't be with the team. That's a big off the bench that they will probably miss. So Minnesota is a team that is still undefeated. Them and the New York Liberty, of course, right? 8-0 straight up. They've only covered 3 of their last 8 spreads. And we talked about, I talked about not fading them in that last game because they hadn't put it together, early. And the quotes came out from, Nafisha Collier and Courtney Williams saying that they were going to put it together. And they absolutely did, right? They smoked Phoenix at home the last time that we saw them play. That was one of their 3 covers on the season. This Dallas Wings team has lost 4 straight. This is their 2nd straight home game. They only 1-8 on the season, just 3-6 against the spread as well. They haven't been covering. This, of course, is the 3rd matchup of the season. Minnesota did beat them by 15 on opening night. We got that one right to start the season. Minnesota, they did win the 2nd game that was at home, but they didn't cover. I think they were laying 10 points in that game, and they didn't cover that one. This is the first game did go over. The 2nd game did go under. When I think about the Wings, I think about their defense being even worse at home than it is on the road for whatever reason. Like their defense is always pretty bad, but at home, I just watch the Sparks come in and absolutely dominate this team. Sparks almost scored 100 points in that game. Adding Paige Beckers back should help the defense. I think I gave you guys those numbers in the last game. They're a much better defensive team with Paige Beckers on the floor than they are with her off the floor. This will be her, I think, her third time playing against the same team. I don't know what to do with this spread. I think Minnesota is the best road team. I think in the WNBA, as far as ATS wise, they've covered, I want to say, pretty much every game. Matter of fact, let's just go over there. Let's go to Moneyballer real quick. Let's go look at it. I really don't know what to do with this spread, though. I do think that the Wings, I know the Wings are not good. They're trash. They're also at the rest disadvantage. You can see that right here. But I don't know if I want to lay this many points with the Wings on the road, with the Lynx on the road. If we come down, just go straight to some home road stuff, right? You can see that the Lynx are, look at this, just 1-4 against the spread are the Lynx. Oh, this is last 5 games. Let's go full season. So full season, the Lynx are 3-5 against the number as a road favorite, just 2-2 against the spread. And the Wings are just as bad though. 3-6 overall, 1-2 against the spread in the first half. 0-3 as a home dog. Like they typically get smoked as a home dog. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with the spread. I guess I like to look with Courtney Williams. I think that's something that we could play on. Real quick, let's just look at those games real quick. So the Wings are home dog. They're 0-3 straight up, 0-3 against the spread, losing by an average of 12 points, which is right where their spread is. Averaging 78 points, giving up 90. Lost to the Lynx, lost to the Storm, lost to the Sparks. They've struggled to score in these games, averaging just 78 points. And their team total today is 79.5. Maybe a look to where they're under. The Wings team total under 79.5. Does Minnesota get to 90 though? I mean, they're giving up 90. Honestly, I really don't know what to do with this game. I do kind of feel like it's everything in my mind says that it's priced, pretty appropriately. Wings as a double-digit dog, 2-0 straight up against the number. Lynx as a favorite of double digits, just 1-3 against the number. Again, another game that's going to be, predicated on Arike Ogunbowale and what she can do. If she plays good, they typically play good. Arike plays bad, they typically get smoked. I low-key think I just want to fade Arike every single game. If we go look at her points prop, I think it will be profitable. This kind of feels like Jalen Green when I said, at the beginning of that series against the Golden State Warriors, just to play his unders every single game. And you make a lot of money. I think he only went over one time. That's how I kind of feel about Arike, because this is a really good Minnesota Lynx defensive team too. Arike points prop listed at 15.5. She's gone under in 3 straight games against Minnesota specifically. She has gotten to 15.5. I think her points prop probably was higher in these games, but she's been playing so bad recently. With Paige Beckers being back, I can see her stealing some minutes from Arike as well. Not minutes, but maybe some shot attempts. Let's see, do we have Paige numbers? I think in Paige first game back, she may struggle, especially against a really good defense. Points listed at 13.5. Assists listed at 5.5. They got the number set pretty low for her. And rebounds listed at 3.5. Points, rebounds, and assists all at 24.5. She did go over in her last 2 games before, but she hasn't played in a little over a week, I think. Head-to-head wise, under in both games against Minnesota. Yeah, maybe just the Courtney Williams look. The Courtney Williams look that jaXon gave out, I think, makes the most sense as far as player props go. Courtney Williams, points, rebounds, and assists, 24.5. Over in 3 of her 4 games. Over in 6 of her 8 games so far this season. If we just narrow this down to just road games, like jaXon mentioned, over in every road game so far this season. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-0 to the over. These games were all from last year. So 4-0 to the over in her last 4 games on the road this season. Hitting the over every single time. Assist prop listed at 5.5. She hasn't gone under in back-to-back games. This is probably a spot that I would play on her over, especially if you think the game is going to be competitive. They blew out Phoenix in this game, so she played less than 22 minutes. But if she's going to get close to the 28, 29 minutes, I think Courtney Williams is in a really good spot. over on her assist prop as well. All right, enough talking from me, especially in a game that I'm probably not going to bet. Just kind of share my thought process with you guys. Let's get into see if you guys have anything else here, and then we'll get into a quick recap. Helm says Lynx covered first game, but Wings give me Minnesota. Wings give Minnesota fits last few meetings. Line frozen at 9.5. No chance I put money on Dallas though. That's a fact. That's a fact. They could easily get blown out of this game, man. What's up, Jose? Hope all is well. Helm says under 169, under 168.5. Been getting hooked. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. 169.5. Been getting hooked like crazy, man. Chad says not laying it, but we'll grab Lynx live if I can get if it's still close going to the fourth. Yeah, I don't think the Wings gonna be able to close the game out. We also got to remember the Lynx are still the best third quarter team in the WNBA as well. So maybe they start a little slow, and then you can get a live number with the Lynx. I do agree with that theology for sure. Lynx 1 to 10 is probably plus 200. I would hope it's better than that. I would need better than that if I want to take that. Let's see. Tough to handicap stamina. That's a fact. Lynx got to be tired. I would say, I mean, the Wings have played more games than the Lynx, though, Mark. Lynx got the rest advantage in this game. Malik says Minnesota has allowed 80-plus points in 2 of their 8 games. He says, but I don't know. Lynx give me Celtics vibes. Play with their food. On the road, I feel like they play better. So let's go back real quick. Let's look at this because Malik brought this up. All right. So another cool thing about Moneyballer is that you can filter this to just home road, right? So if I click home road right here, let's just take this off. I can look at all of the numbers specifically for the Minnesota Lynx on the road. So you can see that their offense on the road is the second best, 110, right? Their defense is third best, 98. 98.7 is what their defensive rating is. So, and this is the Wings offense, right? At home, 9th in offensive rating. And their defense, third worst, 110 defensive rating. So, and then you can see, how those numbers correlate, right? Wings have not covered a game at home as a home dog, 0-3. And then the Lynx, they do play better. Like I said, on the road, 4-0 straight up, just 2-2 against the spread. First half, they are 3-1 to the over. Lynx 0-4 in the first half on the road as a favorite. And then they win the third quarter in the fourth quarter. So maybe Wings early. I can't bet it though. But yeah, maybe Wings early. Team total, opponent team totals are 3-0-1 to the over against the Wings in the first half and 3-1 to the over for the full game. The Lynx defense does not play as well in the first half. You can see that right here. Their opponents are 3-1 to the over. And if they're a road favorite, same thing. So this telling me maybe I'm not betting on the Dallas Wings though, not on a Sunday, man. Dallas first half maybe is what this is telling me based on those numbers. But I wanted this to look because I know that the Lynx defense is really, really good on the road specifically. I figured I knew it was top 3 somewhere in there. Holmes says Cheryl best halftime adjustment coach in W. That's a fact. Jason says, how good has Heidemann been for the Lynx? She's been pretty good. She hit that game winner against Phoenix in the right corner. I remember that a couple games ago. Yeah, that's a fact. She's been really, really good. As it says, can you speak on if he should call your points over and rebounds? So let's go back real quick. I know I'm doing a lot of back and forth, but it's cool. It's the last game anyway. So let's go back over to Outlier. I don't even know what Feast points prop is set at. But let's just go look at it real quick. Let's look at her numbers. So her points prop is set at 23.5. She has not gotten to that number consistently this season. Against Dallas, however, she had 28 and 34. So that's a real matchup problem. I remember her starting the season off with 34. This was the game, though, not without Courtney Williams. This was the game without Elena Smith. Elena Smith did not play in this game. Alana Smith, I think is how you pronounce it. So 34 and 28 against the Dallas Wings specifically. Let's see if she has a personal vendetta against them or not. Maybe she does. She's gotten a 24 in 4 of the 6 games that she played them going back to last season. In both games so far this season. We go down here, look at her field goal attempts, 21 and 13, shot 57%, 62%. So they can't stop her. I mean, nobody can really stop Fee, honestly. I think one of these games was the game that they were coming off the Commissioner's Cup win against the New York Liberty. And they got smoked in that next game. I'll never forget that one. I do remember that. I don't know which one of these games that was, though. But one of these games, might have even been this game. They might have been drunk, honestly. But anyway, yeah, I'm never fading Fee just because of her capabilities and what she can do, especially if nobody else is knocking down shots. So I don't can't really give you a lot of insight here. She's shooting 52% in the last 5 games against them. We look at her season long numbers in general. Let's just say this year she's shooting. Yeah, this is the whole season. So this season, she is shooting 52%, 42% from the three-point line, 92% from the free throw line, averaging 9 makes per game, 17 shot attempts per game. And Dallas is one of the worst defenses in the WNBA. I would not be fading Feisha Collier. If we look at her road games, 3 road games so far this season, she is shooting 53%, 61% from the three-point line. Wow. So yeah, Fee's been cooking on the road. Look at what's her 3-point prop. She's hit 3, 3, and 4 in the games on the road so far this season. And her 3-point prop is listed at over half. You can get Fee at 1.5 on BetMGM at plus 195. That could be worth a look. But I know you wasn't asking about that. You asked about rebounds too. So let's go look at her rebound prop. She is the best rebounder on the team. Yeah, look at this. I couldn't talk you off immediately. She's gone up and over her rebound prop in her last 4 games against Dallas. She has gone under though, 4 and 8 in the 2 games so far this season against them specifically. But Fee's one of the better rebounders in the WNBA. Exceeded the line in 5 of her last 6 games on the road. 7.2 rebounds per game. So we can go in here. Only show road games. 11 rebounds here, 6 and 4. 11 rebounds against Golden State. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off. I think I don't know. I never really played Feisha Collier. I just like watching her watching her play. I don't really play on her player props. The Lynx are a team that kind of similar to like the Pacers. Like, they like to spread the floor. Courtney Williams is like Tyrese Halliburton. Like, everybody on the team can shoot for the most part. Everybody can handle it. Everybody can dribble. So it's hard for me to want to play on a specific player unless I see extra motivation, I guess. Hopefully that helps. Martez. What up, Lightbearer? Appreciate you for tapping in. All right, let's jump into a quick recap, man, because I've been on here talking for a while. Oh, this was the other thing I wanted to mention too. I forgot to mention this. So I put this slide in here too. This is home dogs and double revenge spots. It typically is towards the under. You see I highlighted in the top right corner, top left corner, 132, 84, and 4 to the under. So these games are going under 61.1% of the time. These are home dogs in double revenge spots. You can see Wings and Lynx are up there. So it does, point towards the under. It also points, you can see all the L's on here as well. It points to the Lynx, smoking the Wings in the spot if you're just playing situationally as well. A lot of these teams have lost and not covered either. So take with that information, do what you want, but this trend does point a little bit more towards the under, even though the Wings defense is a little bit too trash for me to want to play on under. And I think that is it. So if we recap everything that I talked about, what I like most would be Let's see. If we go, NBA, I want Indiana. No, I don't want Indiana. I want OKC. First half minus the 7.5. WNBA, I want Mystics. First half minus the 3.5. Like I said, I think they punch. The Connecticut Sun in the mouth early, and then I don't really know what to do with this last game. So I like 2 first half bets. I don't think I realized that. Also NBA. Let's see. Also NBA. The Tyrese Halliburton under his 3-point prop. Two and a half 3-point makes, I think, is solid. And I like the Aaron Nesmith one as well. I think it was 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. These are ways that I would play today. All of these should be red. Whatever I end up playing, I will send out. But I'm most likely you can pencil me in on OKC first half. I think I want to play that. I haven't played it yet, but I do want to be there. And the WNBA, I'll probably try to end up playing live. But I do like watching the first half. I think they smoked Connecticut from the beginning based on what I showed you guys earlier. And I may not play any NBA props, but these are the ones that I would play. So hopefully that's helpful, man. Hopefully the show was helpful. Just kind of giving you guys my thought process and, some of the tools that I use to handicap. But that's that. The resources, all the things that I use to handicap are listed here for you guys. Check them out if you guys are interested. And all the links are in the description of the video, of course, as well. Whatever it is that you bet, I hope that you cash it, as long as it's not anything that I'm on the opposite side of. And we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. We got WNBA every single day this week, so we'll be back tomorrow. If not tonight, maybe I'll do tonight's show for tomorrow. But still got to wait for some information. I think it's two games in the W for tomorrow as well, man. So best of luck, like I said, on whatever it is that you guys are betting. Enjoy your Sunday, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one.